the things he's playing are so unusual. They feel nostalgic, but also like you've never heard it before.
Yes.
It's a thing that I couldn't tell you how it can be done. It doesn't seem like it's possible, but they somehow did it here. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, as always, by my common cool co-host, Alexander Volch. Say hello.
Hello.
This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time, except for our shorter singles episodes like this, where we discuss one album at a time. And who we covering today?
Mamaleek.
Diner Coffee by Mamaleek. This was suggested to us by our history guy, Tom, on our Discord channel.
Yeah.
Where we take all these suggestions for our EAE singles episodes. And he suggested it to us, and I was immediately intrigued because Tom has some fucked up taste. He has some of the most brutal and interesting taste. Everything he's like requested or suggested to me, I've ended up becoming a big fan of. Mm-hmm. And just by that alone, I knew that we had to cover this.
Yes. I don't know if I love this yet, but I'm really glad I listened to it. I have not heard anything like this.
No, you have not.
And I was so like intrigued after listening to it. I was like, well, maybe that's just their MO. And I went back, and yeah, I think this is like new waters for venturing in new waters for the band too.
So this is a band that I have no knowledge of whatsoever. I love this album. I think it's fucking crazy and kind of incredible.
Also, this getting ahead of myself, they totally named the album title. It's just like for the weird brand of heavy music they do. I think it just like, yeah, if you like extreme music, you can listen to this in a diner while having coffee. In
terms of extreme music, this is bizarre.
It's totally bizarre.
I wouldn't even like. I'm just seeing their Bandcamp page for the first time, mm-hmm. and they are a self-proclaimed black metal band.
Yeah. Wiki goes with the safe for experimental metal label.
Well, the little bio, it says two.
No,
I'm not denying that, but I'm saying like it's such an interesting thing that I would never guess. It says two anonymous brothers recording in San Francisco and Beirut. Mamaleek repeatedly creates some of the most intriguing, aesthetically realized black metal anywhere.
Yeah, I also didn't know they were anonymous. I knew the San Francisco thing, didn't know the Beirut thing.
With the Middle Eastern influence makes sense.
And yeah,
I'm part of Lebanese myself, so I like the connection.
There you go. And then yeah, some of the reviews I went over on their earlier albums because this is not an album where I'm listening to every album by Mamaleek.
Or a band that you're listening to.
Yes. Yeah. So I skimmed over some reviews, and they seem to be more driven by that Middle Eastern sound on some of their earlier albums. And there is none of that here.
I can't believe how many albums they have.
It's insane how many albums they have.
I was expecting 3. How many is this? Was 8? It looks like 8.
It's a lot. Well, they've been around since 2008, so this clearly a passion project for them. It can't make them a lot of money, but I'm glad they're being weirdos still.
I love them. I have no idea what the rest of it sounds like, but this album and some of the strange nostalgia that it triggers.
Nostalgia.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's blended with this really obvious harshness, but it never feels like metal. Mm-hmm. None of this feels like metal at all to me.
I mean, sometimes
only the vocals sometimes, or vocals a lot of the time.
Sometimes to me it does, but
it's definitely heavy. But the parts where it's not heavy, so if we're going track by track, I mean, so the intro, Libations to Sacred Clowns, is already like, we are crazy, but we're not metal. That's what that track screams.
I mean, yeah, it's like a track with like people laughing, but it sounds like they're laughing at you. There's some heavy riffs over it. It's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it's like pounding single notes with these long chokes, these long breaks of silence, and in the silence you get these really exaggerated laughing, Carrie style laughing, and it's less than a minute, and it's definitely an intro, and then then the actual opener, Boiler Room, is fucking brilliant.
Love it. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's just jazzy as shit. Like a lot of the album is jazzy. You're going to see a lot of that word when people talking about
This
this
is like maybe because it's the first like song. Too.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like the most like jarring and like the most jazzy.
It is extremely jazzy. It's still a lot more herky jerky and proggy, and the vocals are very David Yao. There's a lot of David Yao kind of stuff on here.
It actually made me think of Brainiac, the like effects on the vocals, and also the like smashing of styles on here.
Brainiac was a lot of really clean stuff over this really ridiculous, insane, loud stuff, and that's why we love them. But I mean, there's a lot of blending of really clean stuff within the crazy
with distortion. Yeah. So they sound nothing like Brainiac. No. Made me think of.
So Boiler Room is brilliant. It has the bigger, louder noise rock sections in between these herky jerky, really really pretty jazz sections, and then at the end, it goes into this lengthy section with these heavy swells.
Yeah,
and it just gets more and more like oceanic and pretty, and it's you would never expect a song like that to go that way, and that's most of the songs here. And there's plenty of like unpredictable moments in, I guess, a lot of music, but here it has this permeating guitar tone. It's very clean. It's a gorgeous tone. It's fucking super reverby and spacious and very clean, and it cuts through everything. Sometimes this dude is doing some really impressive solos or these really unusual melodies, complex, unusual melodies, and sometimes he's just doing some bluesy licks. It all sounds so fucking pretty.
Yeah, there are the blending of jazz guitar riffs with like heavy riffs is very interesting. I think like my favorite track is Grief and Headhunter's Rage.
Oh yeah.
Because that's kind of where I nailed like, they're really challenging like this, like for those of you who are fans of Miles Davis's Bitches Brew or
more cool jazz stuff.
Well, that's not cool.
It's not.
Oh, it's cool to me.
It is cool. But there is some, I don't know if it's considered cool jazz. I'm not big on jazz, or I don't know a lot about it, but it's the kind that you associate with literal diners and coffee or noir movies.
Yeah, but like Bitches Brew and... I
know that's not like that. I haven't heard that.
Yeah. Bitches Brew and Herbie Hancock's Sextet are the two where they're like kind of dark and moody. And I thought about those albums a lot. And then Grief and Headhunter's Rage kind of is like really fucking nails that vibe.
It really does have a lot of that noir nostalgia on that
especially in the beginning, and then like you kind of what you said about those swells could be used to describe a lot of the songs here, but you never feel like you're listening to the same song twice.
No, it's so crazy. It's so unusual. So that song, it has all the suspense of a slasher flick, like up to and including the heartbeat bass. And it does that for like 3 straight minutes, where it's just a lot of, like I was saying, like the noir, old detective sounding ambience in the background. Meanwhile, there's this really like dreading thing coming towards you. And then, around 3.5 minutes, it kicks in with all the whole band or whatever, the 2 more instruments, even though it's only 2 guys. And it really feels like recent Swans, specifically the Seer Returns. It sounds so much like that song. With like that type of rhythm, that really heavy driving kind of 4/4 thing. And then after that, at the end, it goes into a clearly Jesus Lizard inspired thing that fucking rules. So you get all kinds of, you get weird noir stuff, almost synthy stuff. Swans, Jesus Lizard.
I did think about John Carpenter music for a quick second there.
So that song is amazing. And there's just so much weirdness and odd moments that I think will get lost on people who maybe don't have the patience or are put off by extremely growled vocals. Vocals are insane here. This is I think it's the ultimate low point.
They're fucking insane. It is screamy, like gruff.
It's death metal. It's like death metal growls.
I like them better than death metal vocals.
They're a little bit less goofy than death metal, but it's either really growled stuff or David Yao-esque screams with like a lot of effects and distortion on it.
I think the album is at its most David Yao like during Bad Timers, because David Yao is the king of making you think of a homeless man screaming. And,
he's the best at it.
And Bad Timers, I wrote, I see a homeless man wandered into the diner now and is doing his open mic set.
Oh, if you've been to LA, well, you've seen plenty of that.
And that's just, I don't know. It's just like the perfect album art and title to describe.
Dude, the cover, I really love the cover. Even though it's technically stupid as shit. Like, it's simple and it's funny. I don't know.
Like you hear the music and you see this art and you're like, it looks.
It kind of makes sense.
Everything complements each other. It's
so weird. And this is what I said on our Black Country Nero episode, where you can't judge bands by their album covers and band titles anymore, because you get shit like this, Diner Coffee, with songs like Diner Coffee, the song Diner Coffee.
It's weird how I think that's like the most quote unquote normal song, but also maybe I had this been indoctrined at that point where I'm just like on board.
Possibly, because there is a lot of wild Yao vocals in that song.
It's still a crazy ride, no doubt.
And that is one of their more Jesus Lizard-y sounding songs. I think it's fucking incredible. And it's where I finally settled on my absolute love of whoever the hell is playing guitar, who I don't know because
they're anonymous.
They're anonymous, but Mr. Guitar Player, holy shit. Because it's choices. And it's not just, like I said earlier, with the really pretty ethereal not water sounding, like just, spacious sounding guitar that kind of cuts through everything. It's the things he's playing are so unusual. They feel nostalgic, but also like you've never heard it before.
Yes.
It's a thing that I couldn't tell you how it can be done. It doesn't seem like it's possible, but they somehow did it here. And it's so damn pretty. And then in that song, in the title track, they go into this like bluesy jammy section that's not boring.
No, it's great.
I hate bluesy jammy shit.
You really do.
But goddamn, it's wonderful.
Yeah. I was not bored for a second.
Not to mention, it's a very short album. It's like 35 minutes.
Yeah. This is, if you like more experimental things, if you like looking for something different, like you got to give it a try.
It is definitely different. I think the vocals will put a lot of people off, which is a shame.
But like you said, if, the people we kind of like we've covered Jesus Lizard, covered Brainiac.
These are like literally my favorite bands of all time.
If you like those bands, very much check this.
You have to.
You're doing yourself. I'll even go so far as to say you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't listen to this album.
I think so, because there's so much strangeness that I can't let go of. Like the intro to Bad Timers is like, it's just pretty. It's just fucking beautiful. It's just cut and dry, beautiful. And then it goes into one of the most unstable non-grooves I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
It sounds intentionally out of rhythm.
But it never feels accidental or like, oh, these guys don't know how to play.
Yeah, it's sloppy in a Jesus Lizard way, where Jesus Lizard is actually not a sloppy band. They just have like this essence of crazy and
chaos.
Yeah, even though like they are one of the tightest bands, but in Bad Timers, around 3 minutes in, it drops the crazy rhythm and just goes in with the fucking killer bass line. And then what sounds like train horns. It's like so many crazy, unusual sounds that all fit the aesthetic of something kind of noiry or jazzy and dinery.
Yes.
I'm such a sucker for that.
And I will say, usually when I've heard this attempt to fuse jazz with like heavy metal, I think of like Imperial Triumphant,
Yeah.
or they went like
That is
they went so far off the deep. That is a band for another day.
so
Or
crazy.
or this band from Norway, because there's lots of bands called The Shining. This one's
right.
from Norway, and I like the way they do it. But again, that is a very like really fucking noisy and brutal, and not that this isn't, but they bring in the more, like I said, like Miles Davis, like
It's like the
mellow. It's moody and dark,
yeah.
but it's still mellow. And to be able to combine that with an abrasive form of music and not make it sound awkward is really impressive.
It doesn't even sound Frankenstein or anything. It just sounds like a whole new thing that I've never heard before, which is what you want when you start blending stuff. It's even though, I'm sorry, I'm going to reference Deaf Heaven. I'm sorry I've referenced Deaf Heaven.
One day we're going to do it.
One day we'll do a whole episode without
but
doing
not
it.
Today.
Even though I do love them, maybe put that to past tense, maybe.
I still love them.
The way you describe them is like, it sounds exactly like black metal with shoegaze. It sounds like it's so easy, where it doesn't really sound like a brand new thing. It sounds like those two things together.
Yeah.
Like it's still,
why haven't more people thought of it?
That's true, but this isn't like, oh, this is black metal and jazz. It doesn't sound like either one of those things. It sounds like a whole new thing using those two things.
Yeah. And then I was so interested by this. I went back and listened to
Kurdicha?
Yes. And that is way more noisy, way more black metal. There's no jazz elements at all on there. So I'm really curious to go back and listen to more albums from them. And good on them for going out on a limb and figuring out this crazy concoction that is diner coffee.
Yeah, and it makes me also curious, like, well, what do they want to do after this? Like, I don't think that judging by the little that we know about them, it seems like they're just going to keep making weird shit and different stuff. And this is probably going to, maybe it might be the last time we hear this weird jazz thing.
100%. So yeah, I'm hoping every album I go to is totally different. There's probably some overlap, but
yeah, I
mean, this just feels so fresh that it feels like, I don't know, maybe you can get another album out of this. I wouldn't.
They're good writers. Like these songs are really well written. Those are truly unique melodies.
If you were a shitty writer, you could not pull this off.
Yeah, or maybe you could pull off some of the maybe the vibe around it, but not so much.
It wouldn't resonate. I don't think the same way.
I think it'd get boring.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stuff you think it could get boring, especially with like a 3-minute intro with just a thumping bass line or like a heartbeat bass line. But no, it's interesting the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
One that I find peculiar and sad about almost is what is it called? Save Your Poor Wicked Soul.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much, and it is a minute and 16 seconds.
I
mean, it's haunting, sad, and menacing all at once. It has all these, like, I'm begging for it to be longer. It's so goddamn good. Shit like that. It's just so odd and I don't know. It just makes me all happy.
Yeah. I love like the titles too of these songs, like Wharf Rats in the Moonlight. Like
Wharf Rats in the Moonlight is a great title. That does
kind of sound like a jazz song.
It really does.
I love like the visual too. Like this really, really fucking nailed it.
What else has this band even done? Let's look at some of these albums here. Man,
they've done a lot, and I only went back one. So
first album was 2008. I think they had 2 albums in 2008.
Is there a 17-minute song on there? Is that
what I'm looking? Yep, there's a whole on the first album, on the self-titled album anyway.
Yeah,
a whole 1740. I mean, we did just cover Ruins of Beverus.
So
I am pretty comfy with ridiculous song lengths at this point.
Unless it's the Mars Volta.
Because they don't do anything. There's so much silence in there.
I disagree.
And it's totally fair to disagree because arguably the same amount of bullshit is on these songs. I just like the way they do ambience better. They do the I don't know.
There is ambience here, but I think they're a little more direct with it.
They are.
This is a short album, all things considered.
These are long songs. Like the shortest actual song, not counting "Save Your Poor Wicked Soul," is like 6 minutes.
Or 5:50. Yeah, 6 minutes.
Longest is around 8. So they're not. But also the thing, the little trick with long songs is like if they keep feeling like different songs in the middle of it, it doesn't feel long, which is the case with basically every song. Every song has at least one change where it feels like there's a new song now.
Yep.
And it's just things. It makes things more interesting that way. No one likes 10-minute Taylor Swift songs, except all of her millions of fans. But I'm not bitter.
No. Well, I don't even remember what episode you bought that up on.
It was one of the loose ends a long time ago.
It was. And I was like, is Mike overreacting? And then I listened to it. I was like, no.
It's that offensive. It's that bad.
I've heard people I respect, not in real life, more like reviewers that I like defend that song. And I'm like,
oh, you can't trust them anymore.
No.
There it is.
No.
Ruin the relationship.
I almost feel like some people like her, like to be like, oh, I listen to everything. I even listen to like Taylor Swift, and it's like this area where it's like it's not cool to like make.
I think. Well, I'm sure there is some of that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are into. I know people that are like unironically into her that can't even really explain it. They just like her. They like the music. They just. Some people listening to Taylor Swift makes sense, but then there's other people where I'm like, I'm calling bullshit. I'm saying this, the people that I don't think would like them. And they're like legitimately into her.
Damn,
there's an appeal there, and I just fucking don't get it. It's like how other people see death metal. That's how I see that shit.
I think I already dug my own grave, but I'm gonna back away from it now. That's all I'm gonna. I don't get it. I don't care. I can't.
Oh, nor can I. Which is why I want to talk more about this band again. So I'm assuming they don't play at all. Then if they're by two anonymous brothers,
or they wear fucking masks. Has anyone seen this band live? Let us know.
Well, you just fucking. I mean, I'm sure there's nothing on.
No, it's YouTube. There's everything on YouTube.
We'll see, dude. We'll see. Right here, dude. There's no live.
They wear masks.
Right. I'm wrong. They're wearing masks.
I fucking knew. And it. Oh no, I see. They outsource other musicians. It's not just two people.
Yeah. There's no way they can perform these songs with just two people. There's so much going on. And from the little bit we're seeing here, that vocalist is just doing vocals.
Yep.
So now I'm wondering. Who's the guitar player? Who's the Magic Man? Because clearly he's not one of the two originals. Unless it's him on guitar.
I know.
It could be him on guitar.
I just went like drummer. I don't know. I don't know how this band works.
Don't know. I'm
gonna look up some of these live clips.
That's fucking fascinating because I would like to see some of this shit live. I think these days more and more people are like stepping up.
Are they touring for this album?
I don't know. I can't really find much. But I think more and more bands are stepping up to pulling off these kinds of songs live.
I guess they would have it on their Bandcamp if they were
touring. Yeah,
I think the use of samples and they do not have any upcoming tour dates. I think the use of samples and keyboards and people realizing they can get a lot out of so little. And laptops is key for that.
Or the Black Midi, Black Country New Road approach, or just have a million members who are all on the same page somehow, and where the fuck you find each other.
Yeah, that's, I guess the Arcade Fire singer is in some shit, but like the Arcade Fire has 100 people in it. Or Slipknot. You need someone you in the clown mask. No, I don't want you to play a real instrument. I need you to play a beer keg. That's right. A beer keg.
Forgot there's a keg player.
A beer keg with a baseball bat. No. Not in other songs. Just one song.
We're going to have your own name, your own credit, your own mask.
Whatever you want to do for the rest of the live set, do it. Jump off shit.
Go home.
Go home.
I didn't realize they actually had a legitimate beer keg player. I don't listen to Slipknot, and now I'm regretting it.
He's a percussionist, and they put the beer keg on the side of his...
So he hits other things.
He has other drums.
He has a couple tubes that are probably made of metal.
It's a cool fucking song, actually. I don't mind me. I digress. I went off.
We got time, dude.
We got fucking time. Slipknot, let Mamaleek open up for you and let them borrow some members.
Dude, at least.
I almost felt guilty about not knowing more things, but then finding out that they're anonymous, I feel less guilty. So.
There is literally 2 videos of them playing live.
No, there's
and
probably
from 3 years ago.
There's probably more. The way YouTube, where you search for things, it fucking sucks. Fucking sucks now. It is really not good for finding.
It is, dude. And for anybody who isn't a YouTube person like me, I searched it. I got like 4 results, and then.
And see how it says like 8 repeats? More?
Yeah. And then
it like cuts you off,
puts people also watched.
And then it goes back to your normal feed.
Yeah. And then you're previously watched. Like, I know I watched Giannis Pappas' special. I'm trying to find Mamaleek here.
Exactly. Man, I wonder if they fly a guy in from Beirut to do these shows.
I wonder if he even is from Beirut. I wonder
yeah, that's part of the like
mystique.
The mystique, the appeal of these guys. And yeah, they got to have day jobs. Imagine they're like in huge bands.
It could be. There's a lot of bands who've done that, but the one I'm thinking of for some reason is the band Ghoul. Like, no one who gives a fuck about Ghoul. I don't even really like them that much. That's just because
they got cool album art and logo.
It is full on like gore comic style. Yeah. It's very cool. I did like a couple of their albums when I was a teenager a lot. I mean, I'm pretty sure like the members of those bands are in like big established bands. I forgot.
Yeah,
who was if I even knew. And then another interesting one, which is not at all famous, but I think it's Faxthead, which had, and it was never confirmed, but everyone just kind of knows fucking Trace Bruins from Mr. Bungle and Secret Chiefs 3.
Yeah,
and Mr. Neil Hamburger on vocals.
Oh man,
but Greg Turkington, not the character Neil Hamburger.
No, yeah.
But like they all wore like stupid like masks. I forgot what the masks were, but they're like ridiculous. And it's a goofy, crazy band that I kind of enjoyed. It's like a metal band, but they're way sloppier and sillier. You never know who's behind those masks.
You never know.
Yeah, unless it's like a couple of fucking nobodies like Daft Punk. They're just, it's 2 French guys. Cool.
2 French guys. You think they're real good at sampling, but in actuality, they're really just playing you these songs they found.
Yeah, one of the most overrated bands of all time. Oh, sorry. But this is a Mamaleek episode. We don't give a fuck about Daft Punk here.
I kind of give a fuck about Daft Punk.
They have good songs here and there, but I don't think they're all that original. No.
Around the world, around the world.
Yeah, man, I hated that song as a kid, but I get it. I get why it's.
I don't.
What?
Because that's just it. That's the whole song.
And it is the whole song.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got some kind of beat to it, though, I guess.
They got better things.
Fair enough. I guess we've exhausted our Mamaleek knowledge and dialogue. Aside from the fact that we love this. Oh, I love this album. You appreciate the album.
I appreciate it. I might come around to loving it. I realize as we do more of these, I'm not good to committing to my feelings.
Nor should you be. Why should you make up your mind on anything in the world ever? You have plenty of time to learn.
That's what the year-end episodes are for. And even then...
Oh, man. I'm sure I've made some regretful decisions on some of those. But yeah, I mean, if you need some sort of a summation, it's a great album. It's equal parts noisy madness and nostalgic beauty in a weird, like, cool jazz almost kind of way.
Noir bitches brew jazz.
Yeah. That guitar tone is fucking angelic with, like, truly original lines and leads.
Unhinged homeless people vocals.
Yeah, they dance between death metal growls and David Yao howls. I think they're the least amazing thing here, but I don't find that they intrude. They might be a deal breaker for some people.
Yeah.
I think the writing is just unmatched, and I love it.
For weirdos, people who are looking for experimental things, or if you like heavy music with a twist, definitely check it out.
Hell yeah. So thank you so much for listening and watching and hanging out with us. Thank you, Tom, for suggesting this one. I like it, and it's going to make my list. I'm sure it is. If it doesn't make my list, it's only because I found other stuff that's a little bit better, but it's up there.
Yep.
It's up there. God damn it.
Yep.
So yeah, if you can find the full album, Spotify link to the full album in the description. We usually have playlists associated with most of the episodes, and you can find all those at everyalbumever.com. You can follow me on all social media at PanderMonkey, and you can follow Alex on Instagram
At Every Album Alex.
at AEAA. Yeah, Every Album Alex.
That's another reason I picked it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, please follow our history guy, Tom. He's not only our history guy, but he's also the guy who suggested this episode. Is Tom Osman Sounds on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. He has a Substack, tomosman.substack.com, where he writes about all kinds of music. He's also an actual music journalist, and he interviews people. He might have interviewed someone from Mamaleek. I forgot. It's possible.
He has pulled off some interviews for us on smaller bands. It's impressive.
He's pulled off some interviews for us in the past, and he's
in the future,
and he continues to do so. And it's actually pretty fucking awesome. He also makes music. His debut album, So Much for All on Days Work. You can find a link to that in the description, as well as a link to my debut EP, Pander Monkey. It's very cool. If you like weird music, it's not even that weird. It's just different-ish. So check it out if you like that. I think is that about it? I think that's about it.
Did we say page?
Oh. Patreon.com/everyalbumever. You get bonus episodes. You get to see your schedule in advance. You get to vote on polls. Oh my God! You get to join our Discord and suggest these shorter albums. It may seem like favoritism that I picked an album from a guy who works with us. It's not. It's just the one that stuck out to me and I thought would be interesting to talk about for all of us. You could also be a tier 2, bigger than Jesus, and suggest a full ass discography for us to cover. And that's those are harder, those take longer, and but they are thorough and they are cool. But you got to be tier 2.
Yes, and that is what bought us to the dance. Is those big episodes?
Oh yeah. We ain't stopping those.
We ain't stopping those.
Yeah. Oh God. Some of them are hard. Oh God.
Some are, but
yeah. So I think we're done. Pretty sure we're done.
Yes.
All right. What the fuck are we gonna listen to?
You should pick. There's not even a bad choice.
There isn't, and it is a tough choice, and I'm not sure exactly, but I think I'm gonna go with the title track.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Hell yeah.
So thanks so much for listening and watching. See ya.